how do you draw disillusion? That's what I had to like think about when I was drawing this piece. Welcome back, Home Slices, to Drawn to Music, where I draw my interpretation of a song. And if you have a song that you want me to interpret, leave it down in the comments. So yeah, that was kind of like the question that I had to solve with this piece, even before knowing that was the question, you know. So this song is Just Tonight, the song is Just Tonight by The Pretty Reckless, and it's I like it. The song, the music is cool, the video is very nice, and the lyrics are, I think, intentionally vague. So I think in that regard, I was able to kind of like find the groove of the song when I first started listening to it, but I didn't see how to interpret it in a visual narrative, right? So I was like, kind of like struggling with that. But as always, I started writing down what came to mind. So I put like, the clock is taking away my time, which is one of the lyrics in the song. And I tried to incorporate that in the first thumbnail here, a little clock in the wall, just trying to use the clock to build up something. And I just drew this this figure here because the whole vibe of the song is kind of you can tell there's some emotional hurt, there's a pain being expressed here, at least to me. That's how I saw it. That's why I started with a figure in the middle, and then we had the clock in the top. As I keep on listening to the song, the thumbnail starts to evolve, and then she talks about taking pills in the beginning of the song, getting a ride, because she starts the car and take me home. So I was like, okay, obviously she's in a car, right? So things like that start to get implemented into the idea of the thumbnail. And then I keep going. There's a line that says like what you call it? When the light hits your eyes, and that like starts to like also play a part in my visualization. In my second thumbnail, I have the guy on the floor sitting down with the lights from the car hitting him, because I wanted to use when the light hits your eye, it's letting me know I'm right. What's it called? Yeah, when the light hits your eyes, it's telling me I'm right. And if I am through, then it's all because of you, right? That part of the song. So to me, it was like, okay, so she saw him and something in his eyes let her know that what she thought of him was correct. So I was like, all right, so I have to use some sort of light. And then after this second thumbnail, I watched the video, and that's when I saw the usage of roses. So that's why you see them here on the bottom, and these little like circles on the bottom are representation of the pills that are mentioned in the beginning. So I start to try to incorporate different elements that just jump out at me, all the while trying to arrange things in interesting ways, right? So then there's a line towards the end that says, "Do you understand who I am?" And I was like, okay, that's a meaningful question. I kept on playing with that emotion, kind of like heft, the very like heavy emotional impact of the lyrics kind of thing, but it still didn't kind of click in me that, oh hey, let's put him inside the car. So again, we have the silhouette, or the couple on the road, and then the car being the source of this light, and then having this kind of tender moment happening, as if she was reminiscing of of that love that she had, but just at the end. So like when the moment that she saw his eyes, and I guess since he was like drunk out of his mind, And then I also was trying to incorporate the imagery that in the video you see Taylor looking at a broken mirror. So I wanted to utilize the cracked window, not cracked window, but like a cracked glass, as the having the sky be a broken glass kind of thing, and then the moon would be behind that glass, or where it could have been behind or in front of it, because it would be like a trans-dimensional thing, the moon, right? And so that was like where I was going with this thumbnail. But then I was like, wait, if he's outside, and how do you start the car and take me home, right? It's like, obviously let's put him inside. So I put him here inside the car instead of outside, because it made more sense according to the song, to the lyric, right? But I was like, whatever, it's kind of cool. but I didn't like this, right? At the time, and I said at the time because eventually the final piece is very similar to this. And then I kept on going, trying to move the pose around, and the intention of the pose is for her to look as if she's sliding down a wall. Like if you're so distraught, so disillusioned by somebody. I imagine it being like in some sort of like dance event. In the video, the band is playing at an auditorium, so like a school dance. So I wanted her to be kind of around the corner from like a hallway when she walked out of the dance because she was so hurt. And then when she turned the corner, she felt like she was by herself enough that she could like let the weight of her feelings bear on her. And then she was just kind of slowly sliding down the wall to, kind of, I have a cry maybe, or whatever, just feel feelings but in privacy, right? Kind of that's always like the vibe. But I didn't want to draw her on the ground. I wanted it to be mid slide, just because she's still holding herself up. It was like a cool moment there. And after I did all that, I closed the first day of thumbnailing by making this larger version of this thumbnail. And in retrospect, I don't know why I went back to making it outside. I think it's because it looked cool. I do think that this is still a cool narrative, having the car in the background, just a silhouette of the couple. This like character here being in distress in relation to this narrative here. And I would probably just maybe remove this altogether and make it more like a darkened like city scene, right? Like making darken the background here a little bit more. But yeah, so this is how I started at the end of the first day. And then the next day, right, I did more drawings because I felt that after the first day, I still kind of felt that I didn't fully understand the song, I felt like there was something missing from the narrative, right? And the lyrics, they're not bad. I'm not saying they're good lyrics, but they're very vague. Like I said, they're very ambiguous, and so there's very little detail to draw details from, for lack of a better term, right? So I had to like piece together like a visual composition in my head to convey the story of the song. So in this and here I toyed around more with the line again, with the hidden, after seeing the eyes, she will, when the light hits your eyes, it's telling me I'm right. That for some reason I just latched onto that idea as the leading thought behind the piece, and I made the face be more prominent. And here I was trying to further define the sliding down the wall pose, but it would get exaggerated. So then I was like, well, let me try something a bit more somber, or more like, I don't know, like more elegant in a sense. Because the sliding down a wall pose in general is not like a very flattering pose, So I try to make it a bit more flattering, I guess, or a bit more, I don't know, a different stance. And I toyed around again with I don't know why, again, I can't explain why I kept him outside the car, but there it is, he's outside the car. Yeah, so that's, and I try to keep the thought of the moon behind it in the sky with a different pose of her, and using a little like rose behind, kind of falling downward, kind of mirroring what one of the scenes shows on the music video. And I try to change the scale. Sometimes I just need to see the pose in a bigger scale to see if it works as a better element for the composition. I don't necessarily have to redraw the entire thing. I just have to see how that different scale on whatever I rescale looks like in the paper as a whole. So then I shrink it back a bit more, not as little as the first one over here. And I like this silhouette in the background. See, I still like the idea of that narrative of having the car behind. And I still do right now, like looking at it, I like having that overlapping of like a car, and I'll probably have like the door open, right? Like the car with the door open, headlights on. The character, the silhouette of the main character is tending to the silhouette of somebody else, and she's sad, and there's a rose. So there's a cool narrative in this idea, minus the face. I don't think I would put the face. I would just leave it as that's it, you know, like just the silhouette in the background, clear sky, maybe still clear sky, and just play around with that idea. But anyways, that's where I was with the second day. And after that second day, I did a few more thumbnails that I'll just show on screen, but I'm not gonna go over because I did quite a few of them. There was a lot of brainstorming with this composition, internal struggle, I guess, of how to visualize it. So then that's all I had done, right? Of what you have seen on screen. That's all the things that I have done, and none of them are the sketch that I end up doing on the final render of it. And there's an in-between sketch that doesn't exist anywhere because it got erased, you know. And but I scanned it, so I'll show you here what it looks like. So as you can see, there are these feathers around the area. I mean, around the central rose, right? And to be honest, I don't necessarily exactly remember why it was this way, but I took it out because it was leaning too far into like maybe there's like some sort of like loss of life, you know. I don't know, for some reason I was like, that's not, is that really what I want to say? I wasn't sure, so I still kept on going because I was at this point I wasn't aware like that's what was gonna bother me about it, you know, because I let the drawings be before I finalized them, right? So there's like a day between here and here. So this one like day one just for argument, right? And this was day 2. And that's when at the end of day 1, it's like, well, do I really want to have that kind of vibe going on here? Because I'm already showing him being dead, right? And although candles can also be interpreted as like something with like a wake or something like that, it's if you watch the video, there are candles around the stage, so I wanted to use that. Also the rose is very prominent in the video, and I like the imagery of roses. My mom loves roses, so if I can have a drawing that features roses so my mom can enjoy looking at the roses, absolutely, right? And then there's like hints or like in the video, right? In the video, like visually there's visuals to hint at blood and then actually showing blood, you know, with like the dunking the rose in the red paint and whatnot. And then going back in my head and thinking that, you know, this song is very like, it's dealing with some sort of like pain, right? So I wanted to have the prickling, I guess, of the thumb, you know, like the thumb being pricked by the thorn, and then just blood running down the hand, because it's also plays into how something so beautiful like a relationship maybe can hurt so much, you know, and make you bleed, whether it be literally, hopefully not, or metaphorically also hopefully not, but you know, it's a very visceral kind of emotional experience, right? So that's how I ended up going with this composition at the end, where there's candles, the rose is because of that significant, you know, meaning behind it in my perspective. If you have another interpretation, again, let me know in the comments. I would love to read how you would interpret this. And yeah, I mean, otherwise, again, the dressing for the surrounding area, it's just because roses are beautiful and my mom loves roses. Oh, and also I love how I did the dress, by the way. Even here it looks kind of hot, but I'm very proud of the dress. I love dresses, by the way, so when I make a cool dress, I'm super happy because I love dresses. So yeah, so this dress is fantastic. And as always, not always, but like second time, her face changes drastically from this stage to the end. Like from before I finalized it to the end, she has some like bad day makeup, and then her face just changes. I don't hate it, but I'm not happy with it. How did I change? How did it come to that? I don't know, but I'm getting better. No, I'm getting better, and I'm so proud of my illustration, and I hope you enjoy it. You know, and also I hope you enjoy the video. I'm going to record a couple of time-lapse videos with voiceovers. So like I'm gonna do like a commentary, like instead of like a director commentary for a film, is gonna be artist commentary for my drawing process, because I like watching my process, and I feel like it's gonna be a cool way to hang out with you guys, you know. But yeah, so thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Share with people and let me know what you think of the piece, and if you have a suggestion for another song, again, leave it in the comments, and I'll see you for the next one. Doses.